Welcome back to the channel. We're Jamie and Skylar, and we recently spent 5 nights cruising with Royal Caribbean out of Tampa, Florida. In this 5th and final episode of our Serenade of the Seas cruise series, we're going to tell you all about the things we loved and didn't love about our experience on the Serenade of the Seas.
Hey everyone, we are on our 5th and final day of our cruise here on the Serenade of the Seas.
This is the 9th cruise overall that we've been on together, but just the first cruise since COVID started. And I would definitely say that this cruise experience has been different from all of the prior ones, but not necessarily in a bad way.
Right, despite all the changes, we really have had a good time on this cruise.
And maybe this video will help you decide if it just might be the right time for you to book your next cruise.
As anyone who has cruised can tell you, there's all types of cruisers out there. Some people cruise for the party, while some cruise to relax. Some people love the port day adventures, while some never leave the ship. But one thing nearly everyone loves about cruising is the free food, and the food on the Serenade of the Seas did not disappoint. In fact, it's first on our list of things we loved about this cruise. We'd recommend starting each day with breakfast in the Windjammer Buffet. While we did enjoy one breakfast in the Reflections dining room, we found the buffet offerings to be equally fresh with much more variety. A few of our breakfast favorites at the buffet included the French toast, the fresh fruits and juices, and the amazing made-to-order omelets. We also enjoyed the fact that the staff now serves the food at the Windjammer, which improves sanitation while still allowing guests to eat as much as they desire. While we also had some really good food at the Windjammer for lunch, we'd recommend the Reflections dining room for your midday meal. We particularly enjoyed the fresh fruit and salads and the lamb pita. But what we may have enjoyed most about lunch at Reflections was the fact that it was usually quite empty, and we could always find a spot with a view. When it comes time for dinner, Reflections is surely the place you'll want to be. Whether you're a meat, seafood, or salad lover, you'll always have plenty of delicious dinner options to choose from at Reflections. A few of Skylar's favorites were the roasted lamb, the beef tenderloin, the key lime pie, and of course, his nightly escargot appetizer. A few of my favorites were the crab cake, tomato soup, the herb-crusted salmon, and the cherries jubilee. I also really loved that they had several types of tea to be enjoyed with dinner at no extra cost. And if you're like us and also like to snack throughout the day, you can find additional sweet and healthy options at the Park Caffe and Caffe Latte-tudes. The one part of the dining experience that did leave us a bit disappointed was the options on the lunch buffet. When compared to our more recent cruises on Norwegian and Celebrity, we did find the selection of food on this ship to be somewhat limited. But despite the comparatively limited selection, even the pickiest of eaters should still be able to find something they can enjoy on this buffet. We did also find that they switched up the food at some of the stations daily, allowing for cruisers to try something different every day. Another thing we didn't love about our cruise on the Serenade of the Seas was the free drink options. As we didn't have a beverage package, we found our beverage options for the majority of each day to be quite limited, consisting of water, plain coffee, watered-down tea, and overly sweet lemonade. If you don't enjoy drinking plain water, we'd recommend bringing some drink flavoring onto the ship if you don't have the drink package. You won't have any problems finding some delicious drinks at the coffee shop, however, which is another one of the things we loved about the ship. At Caffe Latte-tudes, cruisers will find a variety of coffee drinks, from hot cappuccinos and lattes to iced frappes. And while the coffee shop does come with a charge for non-drink package holders, we found the prices to be quite reasonable, especially after we discovered the Caffe Select Punch Card.
So Skylar just scored us a pretty sweet deal after seeing a sign in the elevator.
So the deal was for this Caffe Select Punch Card, which gives you 15 specialty normal-sized coffees for $31. It comes out to just over $2 per coffee, or around $2.50 after the built-in gratuities.
Yeah, I think so. After the gratuities, it was around $36. Now, we were limiting ourselves to 1 specialty coffee a day, but now we have 15 to use over the course of the rest of the cruise.
And while we're on the topic of prices, let's discuss another thing that we didn't love, the drink prices. With the exception of the coffees, we found the drinks on the ship to be quite expensive, starting at around $7.50 for beers and $13 for premium cocktails. Due to the price of the drinks and the fact that we didn't have the drink package, we only purchased a single beer on this cruise. Even so, we still had plenty to drink each night, and we'll let you in on that little secret now.
So we elected not to get the drink package this time around, and so far it's going just fine. But one thing that definitely does help is they do allow you to bring 2 750 milliliter bottles of wine onto the ship. And while we don't really care for wine, we do enjoy mead. And these two bad boys right here are around 20% alcohol each. So that's plenty of alcohol for both of us for 5 nights. And we're definitely going to be enjoying a glass of mead every night right out here on our balcony.
The third thing we loved about this ship was the use of technology. In particular, we love the kiosks that could be found all over the ship. Guests can use these kiosks for a variety of things, such as accessing restaurant menus, locating venues and activities on the ship, finding the nearest restroom, or even the quickest route to your stateroom. We also love that the muster drill could be completed in just minutes by watching a few short videos on the Royal Caribbean app after boarding the ship and simply stopping by your assigned station. With all of the extra complications of cruising during the COVID-19 pandemic, just getting on the ship was an experience we thought would fall into the didn't love category. But to our surprise, everything about getting on this ship was easy, from the pre-cruise COVID testing to the actual boarding of the ship, which only took around 20 minutes from being dropped off at the cruise port. The sail away out of Tampa was one thing that we knew was going to be pretty cool. As we live in the Tampa Bay area, we've been over the Skyway Bridge hundreds of times and have even seen several cruise ships cross underneath. But this was the first time we've got to be on a ship going under the Skyway. The sail-away started off as the slowest sail-away we ever experienced, and we found ourselves wondering why it was taking so long to reach the Skyway. But we eventually realized that the captain was timing the sail-away so we'd cross underneath the bridge right after sunset. This made for a truly breathtaking experience, and one of our favorite moments of the entire cruise. To see more of our embarkation and sail-away experience, feel free to check out episode 1 of our cruise series after this one. One thing we definitely did not love when we first got on the ship was the multitude of sales pitches. When sitting down for our first lunch of the day, we were approached by 3 different staff members trying to get us to eat at one of the paid restaurants for the evening. Shortly after that, a staff member tried to sell us a spa package while we were trying to enter the gym. We should point out, though, that this was all within the first few hours on the ship, and the remainder of our cruise was free of unwelcomed sales pitches. The fifth and final thing we didn't love about our cruise on the Serenade of the Seas was the dated rooms. While we did find many parts of the ship to be recently renovated and to appear very modern, you won't feel like you're on a newer ship when inside your stateroom. And even though the room wasn't the most modern, there were parts of it that we really enjoyed, which leads us to the 6th thing we loved about the ship, the stateroom size and the balcony. While the bathroom was certainly a bit cramped, we were actually pretty surprised with the size of the room itself, as it was noticeably larger than some of the rooms we had stayed in on other ships. We were especially impressed with the amount of storage space, as we ended up not even using it all. And how could you not love having a constant ocean breeze and amazing views that come with a balcony stateroom? But without a doubt, the thing we loved most about the balcony stateroom was that we were upgraded to it for free. And if you're like us and book your next cruise on a ship that's only sailing at 50% capacity, you may just get a free upgrade as well. If you're enjoying this video and want to help support our channel, make sure to give it a like and let us know in the comments if you've cruised before and what your favorite cruise experience has been. And that leads us to the 7th thing we loved about this cruise, sailing on a half-empty ship. It didn't take long for us to realize that this cruise was sailing at far from full capacity. And while it was a bit of an odd experience having pools, gyms, and even dining rooms all to ourselves, we'd take it over a crowded ship any day. Another great thing about having less cruisers on board was that the staff were able to devote extra attention to serving the customers and keeping the ship clean and sanitary. And while we hope the ship capacities soon return to normal for the sake of the cruise industry, we sure did enjoy experiencing a half-empty ship. The 8th thing we loved about our cruise on the Serenade of the Seas was the recreation options. As we love to take full advantage of the endless food while on cruises, we also try to stay as active as possible to burn off some of those extra calories. And this ship had no shortage of fun ways to stay active, including the gym, pools, sports courts, mini golf, and our personal favorite, the rock climbing wall. And even if you're someone who hates to exercise while on vacation, you may not even notice that you're exercising while taking in the views from the 12th floor jogging track. While our late 2021 cruise experience may be a bit different from cruises before or after the COVID pandemic, it was an overall amazing vacation, with the positives far outweighing the negatives. And while our 5-part Serenade of the Seas series may be coming to an end, there are 4 other videos in this series showing much more of our cruise experience. And you can join us back on day 1 of that experience by clicking on this video next. Thanks for watching!